Everyone, welcome to my channel. This week I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 13, Episode 15. It's 1 week before Decision Day. It's actually shocking that the season is almost over. But anyway, I'll review my couples as I normally do. I'll start off with Jose and Rachel. Jose and Rachel, I've said all season, I don't think there's really much for us to say. Personally, I don't see any growth in Jose and Rachel. I feel they've been on a straight line since they started. They've always said they've fallen in love. They've always said, they're happy. And for me, it doesn't make sense because I don't see anything that's tangible. In this episode, we see them meet up with their friends, have conversations on their decisions for decision day. And from outside of the fight that they had, whereby Jose locked Rachel out, and the fact that she called Jose by another man's name, there really has been nothing all season. I know they've tried to set up dates, they've tried to. When you compare them to other couples in previous seasons that have worked, there's really nothing I personally can see from my opinion. Other people might feel differently, but I think there's nothing you could say has changed or has shown any growth or any progress or any sort of direction of where they're heading as a couple. But then, I don't know, that's me. From there, we move on to Brett and Ryan. For me, Brett and Ryan, it's sad, but Ryan and Johnny are the poster children for self-sabotage. And it's sad that Ryan, when Brett held his feet to the fire about him being on a dating app, he then shut down and tried to sort of stay away. In one instance, he was trying to make himself feel good by, not appearing to be at fault for what he did. And we see them meet up. He apologizes for being the way he behaved. Apparently, he moved out as soon as Brett asked him about the app. He apologizes for moving out. He apologizes for his behavior. He meets up with his friend. And I personally think if you go on Married at First Sight, you should meet up with your friends often. Like Jeffy had this friend who he spoke to regularly and gave him sound advice. And I think if Johnny and Brett and Ryan had met up with their friends throughout the season, they might have benefited because Ryan's friend tried to sort of make sense of what was going on and tried to help him sort of understand where he went wrong and what he could have done better. But I think it's too late because it's sad that he had an amazing partner in Brett. And he seems to understand that he had an amazing partner, but he did not appreciate her. And for him to try and appreciate her now, I'm sorry, so it's a day late and a dollar short. And he's going to regret that decision because of his indecisiveness and him not knowing what he was after in a relationship. From there, we move on to Zach and Michaela. We didn't really see Zach and Michaela together that much. We got the understanding. I said it last week that Zach, what he's trying to say to Michaela is he feels they'll benefit from being away from the cameras and the producers, and they'll be a better, they have a better shot of making their relationship work because Michaela met up with her sister. And she explained that after the meeting with Dr. Pepper, they went out for a meal together away from the cameras and the producers. And then from there, they sort of had, she spent the night at Zach's and she felt that everything was great, which means I think their struggle has been the producers and the fact that they had to be Zach had to isolate. And so because they were constantly being told what to do, yes, Michaela has a lot of problems. I find it strange that she didn't tell her sister that she blew up on Zach. But anyway, whatever makes her feel great. So for me, they were a couple I had high hopes for. And I'm really sad that it didn't work out for them. And I don't see any way of them coming back. And it seems they're very dysfunctional in the sense that I think the sex is the only thing that's holding them together. Otherwise, everything else, they don't seem to be working out. And I think this is why Zach is always saying, "Are you staying the night? Are you staying? Are we sleeping together? Are we sleep?" Because I think that's the one thing that works for them. Everything else is very dysfunctional. I think had they focused and got therapy, they could have made it work. But I think it's a bit too late now, given the rumors that Zach is dating Bao. So Zach didn't meet up with his friends. Surprisingly, he met up with Gil and had these conversations, and Gil was able to give him honest advice, which is one thing I like about Gil, that he's not afraid to ask the questions that need to be asked. And Gil sort of tried to make him understand how you know he can come across as being indecisive, in the fact that one minute he says, things are not working, then they're making out, then they need to make a sound decision and need to be focused on what they want, and not just being very vague about what they're after in this relationship. So it's that they're another couple outside of Jose and Rachel that I see getting divorced, and Brett and Ryan. From them, we move on to Bao and Johnny. Johnny, I think, if nothing else, met up with his friends. His friends gave him honest feedback, honest advice, very constructive feedback. I think if Johnny was really interested in Bao, if he was really interested in giving his marriage a chance, after he spoke to Sarah, he should have gone to his friends, explained what Sarah told him, and got ideas or advice from his friends before he treated Bao the way he did. And I think I liked Bao meeting up with a friend and the advice she gave her. But I think, if nothing else, Johnny, when they met up as a group, Johnny realized that he had screwed up, and it was too late. And I think this is why he sort of arranged a date night with Bao and tried to sort of make things, try and sort of correct himself in what he did wrong. But it's too late now, because I think Bao telling him in a group setting really showed him that she's over his crap and she's not interested anymore. From there we go to Merla and Gail. Merla and Gail, for me, I love Merla and Gail, but I think Gail is not giving Merla enough credit. Merla has come a long way from day one. Merla has made a lot of changes. Yes, their only issue is about the finances, but at least she's tried. She now, looks after his dog. She's trying to be more intimate. She's trying to be more affectionate. And so for me, I think my hope is he doesn't let go of an amazing partner. Yes, they have issues about finances. A lot of couples on Married at First Sight have issues about finances. Jessica and Austin had issues about his job, but they still found a way to make it work. So I hope, if nothing else, they find a way to make it work, because their issues, as they said amongst themselves, are very minor compared to the other couples. So I really have high hopes for them, because for me this season, Merla and Gil are the only couple I see with an opportunity to actually make it work. But anyway, that's them. Then the couples met up as a group and they had conversations. And I like how Bao is not afraid of communication, and how she's not afraid to ask, the thought-provoking questions, because they in their groups, in the group setting, Zach brought up that, he, on decision day, him saying no is not a conclusion to their relationship. And he still hopes that they'll be able to sort of maintain a relationship with Michaela, as he's always said that, he hopes that after they get divorced, then they can start from scratch. And for me, it's I like the way Bao held his feet to the fire and said, a no is a no, that's it. And this is what other previous spouses have lacked, in the sense that I heard that Paige was still dating Chris or whatever. They say no, but they don't move away. And so I like the fact that Bao, I don't know. For me, I think in the group you could tell that the spouses were open to airing their grievances, and it's sad that some of it was a bit petty, but I liked the fact that people like Brett was able to speak up for herself and say what she wanted in a relationship and what she was not willing to accept. Gil said what he wanted, although some of it was seemed like he was taking a swipe at his wife. But then Merla is not one to bring up anything in a group setting, so it's sad. It's really sad for me. After the group setting, I think it's nice that they bring them together and they sort of help them. But I think there's also a negative to that, because if you have two confused people like Johnny and Ryan, they're going to feed off each other, and if no one steps in, they're going to end up self-destructing, which is what they've done, because every time they've met up together, they sort of propped each other up in their beliefs and whatever ideas they have of what they want in a relationship. After that, we see the couples go back. Obviously, Zach and Michaela are not living together. Brett and Ryan are not living together. Bao and Johnny are sleeping in separate rooms. And Rachel and Jose, as usual, played up that they're very much in love. And I think the people that actually seem genuine for me are Gil and Merla. And I really have hopes, or I really hope that they stay married and they continue to work on their relationship and continue to work. I know, yes, there is the issues with finance, but it's something minor that they can work on, something that they can move away from. So I hope they stay married. Next week is decision day, so I guess we'll find out who stayed married. This season has been sad. It's sad. They had very good couples, but the couples were not willing to do the work and were very quick to run away from confronting their issues and working on them, whereas previous couples have really worked on them. And this season, they had more expert input as compared to last season, and still the couple self-destructed, which is sad. So, I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye, guys.